Hi everyone, I'm Lionel with Simple AI Life. If you've been hearing a lot about artificial intelligence lately, but feel like it's a language you don't speak, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to talk about Gemini. Now, I know for many of us in the Boomer and Gen X communities, new tech can feel a bit like a jinx. You might be reluctant to dive in, or maybe you just don't know where the starting line is. My goal is to turn that around and create what I call a golden echo, where one simple successful step leads to another. We're going to strip away the jargon and show you exactly how to get started. Step by step, you can make this tool work for you. Let's start at the very beginning. Here's how to set up Gemini. Okay, so we're going to get in here. I have a browser window that I'm not signed into. So that way, if you don't already have a Google account or a Gemini a Gmail account, then we can show you how simple this is. This doesn't create any issues having extra accounts for email. In fact, it can be actually quite beneficial. It's not a scary thing. Let me show you right away how we're going to do this. We're going to type in Gemini into the search real quick, and we're just going to go to gemini.com, which is actually gemini.google.com, and you can type that directly, and if that's the way you prefer, it doesn't matter. The search is just really easy. Now, with not being signed in at all whatsoever, obviously you're not paying for it if you're not signing in, and even if you do, you don't have to pay to use Gemini. It's the same thing with ChatGPT. It's the same thing with many of the AI models. There are tons of free options out there that can do a lot for you. Over here, as you see this drop down, you would see Thinking and Pro options are only available if you sign in, and they have limitations if it's in the free, but they are available. Under the tools, you have Create Image, Create Video, Canvas, and Deep Research. Things like Deep Research are available if you are a paid subscriber. Canvas, I honestly don't remember right this minute, but that's easy enough to find out. Create Video and Create Image are available to free users in limited amounts as a daily limit, not a weekly or monthly limit. It's a daily limit, and it's kind of floating, but we can get to all that later. So in the meantime, let's just decide, go with, we want to start a new subscription. So I'll hit the sign in button and I'll go create account for personal use. Now, I didn't do this actually, but I kind of preset it up. So I'm going to put my name in here as Democles Socrates because I'm not going to use this anyways. Hit next. Basic information, as long, and now you're going to put your actual birth date in here because the whole point is no one outside of you is going to see that. Google has this information basically as a verification of age, as well as if it's going to tailor certain things, services to you, which is not actually that really a bad thing. But there's a lot of things you can turn off in Gemini or Google to prevent that, if that's an issue for you. So let me just say July, we'll put 30, why not? And I'll put the year 1979. That definitely makes me younger than I am, but old enough. Gender, this is the thing. You can put rather not say, custom, and put whatever you want, female or male. This is not mandatory. So you can put rather not say if that's what you choose. Hit next, and then you can choose based on your name. You can, if you, by the way, have your you want to create a different email address and just create a name other than what it says there, you can do what you want with it. Or you can take one of these choices. I'm going to do the same thing I wrote in it. So I'll just put Democles Socrates, and there you have that. Now it's to choosing the password. Verification code sent to your phone. So this is where you put in your phone number. Again, I'm going to skip this part. And you can also add a recovery email. I, however, am going to skip this, but that's easy enough. You put your phone number in, and you choose a recovery email if you choose to. I do highly recommend it in case there's issues. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Hit next. And of course, the privacy and terms. And you basically scroll through all that, hit the I agree. And as they say, Bob's your uncle. You're in. Now, here's the thing. When I go fast, all of it is available. Fast thinking. Thinking is basically similar to fast, but gives you a little bit more in depth. It takes a moment. I'll demonstrate both of them. A quick example, for instance, is I might want to ask something like, and I can use my microphone for this, so rather than typing. So I'm actually going to demonstrate that actually as well. So maybe I'll ask it something simple like, I'll use my microphone now. If I were a NASCAR driver and I wanted to drive on a regular street at top speed, how long would it take me to get from Chicago to Milwaukee if there was nothing to stop me in between? Unfortunately, you do actually when you don't have to do this when you're on a phone or a tablet, it will answer automatically when you do that. But with this, you actually have to click that once and then click the send to it. We don't need this here, so we'll get rid of that. Now you see it answered pretty much right away. On the website, it doesn't give you the audible return. You have to read it out. However, you can get different ways that you can have something read a page if that's what you need. You can also do this on a tablet or a phone. Once you set it up on your phone, it's available on the web. Once you set it up on the web, it's available on your phone. Obviously, tablets as well. So, in this case, if you were to treat I-94 like the backstretch of Talladega, you'd be making the trip in record time. Just a heads up. While I love the good, what if doing this in reality would involve a lot of flashing blue lights and a very short career? So I basically tell you, you're going to jail because it's not something you're going to do. Distance is basically Chicago to downtown Milwaukee, 92 miles. 195 to 200 miles per hour, and it gives you the breakdown. I mean, look at all of this. And this is instantaneous that it's doing this. Inevitably, it gives you a little bit of different times. NASCAR Pro, 195 miles per hour, 28 minutes. And you can export a sheet. It doesn't always do this, but depending on what you're asking for, you can export this and put this in. So if this is a serious question, not just something for fun like this, it's for me to do in demonstration. And also, by the way, it's giving you this. There's more. Reality check, talking about the tires. Racing Slicks are designed for heat and friction. And, it'll tell you about how much fuel you're using, the aerodynamics, and so on and so on. So let's now actually, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to refresh the page. I want to go back to a fresh start. And I'm going to, I didn't do it. What I'm going to do, I need to select a new chat. So there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to switch to thinking now. And I want you to see the difference here. Try to ask the same question if I can, as best as I can. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'm going to go in here instead, and I'm going to copy my question and then go new chat. Switch it to thinking, paste, and watch the difference here now. It still does it pretty quick, but watch this. You see that? It's actually showing you it's thinking. And this time the answer is a little bit different because now it's giving more thought into it. It still gives you all this information here. Still gives you your reality check. Still gives you the option to export sheets with this information. But notice the time is a little different. It's thought about it a little bit more carefully. It's actually slightly faster here, only by a half a minute. But the point is it's a little bit quicker. So we're going to do this one more time. I'm going to go new chat. And this time I'm going to select Pro. But when I copy this in, I'm going to add something to it because when you want it to do something this serious, you want to make sure that it really understands that you mean you want it to think about this. So unfortunately, I can't use the microphone once I've done this like this. I have to type it. So forgive my very amateur typing. I'll edit that out. Okay, so all I did was I basically told it to take the time to calculate all scenarios. So that way, it will actually utilize what it's capable of doing. So I'll hit the button now. This is definitely going to take longer. It could be as little as several seconds, or it could take a few minutes. Obviously, the longer it takes, the more dead air is going to be edited out. This is a part where you can actually see it's doing something, but this is a recent addition. You can actually have it answer immediately. If you're in a hurry, it'll still think about it, but you can get it to answer immediately. But I want you to see just how this goes. So it still says, and it says show thinking. This is cool. Defining objective. I've clarified the user's driving time request to be Chicago to Milwaukee, considering a NASCAR stock car at top speed, calculating travel times. And it goes through all of this. It then gives you pretty much the same information, and it does have that same time, which basically means it was pretty spot on in the thinking model as well. But it's given the scenarios a little bit more of a breakdown here. And it still gives you the reality check, and it gets on with it. And then it basically says, so barring running out of gas, the car tearing itself apart on the interstate, you'd be looking at a breezy 25 to 27-minute commute, which, having driven that stretch myself, I can tell you would be pretty darn fast, as I sure as heck wasn't going that fast. So that's basically a quick example of how that works. I can give you a couple of other quick examples of a couple of things that you can do with this, which is really, really cool. So let's go new chat again, and we're going to leave it on fast, and I'm going to go create image. Now, this is something that is really amazing. There's some interesting examples here. Now, you've all probably heard of Nano Banana, and many of you may have actually tried it on somebody else's device if you didn't have your own, or maybe you tried to get in and do it. But again, if you're signed in, you already have an account, or you're just doing this while you're watching, play along. Have some fun with this. You can do it on your phone while you're watching the computer. Do it on a computer while you're watching on your phone. It all works out great. So we can just put something very simple like I'll use the voice chat or the voice commanding this again. Create a picture of a dog and a cat dancing in a ballroom dancing contest. Both should be dressed to the nines. Now, this is for fun. You can get way better things to do with it and make them look realistic. I also should have, by the way, said that I wanted to be photorealistic, but ironically enough, it did make it photorealistic. So let me just actually get in there so you can see a good example of that. That's incredible. And look at the text, Grand Animal Ballroom Championship. That's amazing. I do think, though, that they made these other cats in the background a little large. So it may make some mistakes here and there, which is kind of, so what? It's still good. But let's, again, I'm always going to do new chat when I do this, because if you don't go new chat, it has a tendency to try to talk or try to create over itself. It may just end up getting into a loop. So if you want to do something new and not something to edit it, go the other way. I should give you a quick example of an edit, by the way. Keep everything the same in the picture, but change the cat's dress to blue. Now, if we're lucky, it will change nothing but the color. Being AI, it may do something different. This is actually really good, because if you have black and white photos, by the way, you can't get them to color them. You got to stick around for a future video, and I'll show you how well that works and how you can even take a picture, not a scan, a picture of a negative and actually get correct colors using Nano Banana. And the dress is blue. So let's take a look at the two. There's the one. I'm looking at the patterns. I'm going to go very quickly get into the other one. Patterns basically seem the same. So if there's any difference, it's minor. I'd have to look at them side by side. But that's a pretty darn good job. So we're going to go new chat now. So we'll switch to new chat. And one other thing they do have that you can do for free is create music. So if I click this one, it's just automatically new reggae, but let's tell it we want it to do something. So why don't we try something like this? Create a reggae track, a piece of music talking about how easy it is to sign up for Gemini, even on a free account, and get great results, especially if you like reggae music. Now, notice that text wasn't perfect, but I'm talking to an AI, so it figures out that I had a bit of a stutter in there, and it basically puts 2 and 2 together, and it will now generate the music. So quick edit to the music. Let's just put that in and see if it does the same thing or something different. It's actually kind of frustrating when something does go wrong, but here's the thing about AI. You can actually tell the AI that you're frustrated and that you need it to do it properly. Again, stick around for that. And also, don't forget to join the Simple AI Life community if you haven't already, because there are a lot of great things that we're going to talk about. We're going to get way more in depth about training. This is just a simple, quick tutorial. Let's see if this works now. It does not. This is my fault. So basically, no, we have to go back into new chat. So basically, there you have it. I went to go do the music creator, create the music. It did not work. I mean, it did work, but there was no audio. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that part for you right now. So if it does work and I can download it, what I'll do is I'll share it at the end of this video, which will be just in a few moments. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new content. And please join the Simple AI Life community. Get involved. Crowdsourcing information with each other is a great idea. And our course is an absolute steal of a deal to help you learn how to use proper prompts, because the key to having AI help you in your life, in every facet of your life, anywhere, from your smart home gadgets that you do or don't own yet, down to the simplest things like I'm going to the store and I need it to help me, pick a list and how to get there. We can help you with the right prompts that'll get you the right information quicker. I'm Lionel with Simple AI Life, and we'll see you real soon.
Ease up the thing, my brother, hear the news. No long application, you can never lose. Them got a free plan, yeah, the price is right. Making everything simple, pure delight. Gemini, I rock the world, the world. The best results from the words you hurl. If a reggae music, them deliver the sound. The freshest rhythms all over the town. Ah yeah, Gemini, make the good vibes flow. Gemini, let the good vibes flow.